Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. Wow. Today is going to be a quick day. We're going to be off of here by like 9, 9, 9. So, yeah, I have to go through my emails and create 2 banners. Somebody canceled, I believe, but I'm just going to truck through what I need to do. Okay. So, so let me get closer to you guys. Hold on. And we're gonna have fun. Okay, what else? Reach out and oh, reach out and touch somebody's hands. Make this world a better place. Okay. Reach out and touch calendar. Somebody's hand. Now I need to go to her email. Cool. I know who you are. I know who you are, Catherine Williams. I cannot wait to interview you. First, I want to see if you sent the information. Did you? Yes, you did. Thank you. Thank you. It's dangerous out in Federal Way. Reach out and touch. Hello, my name is Catherine. Oh my God, you have beautiful artistry. Oh, I should have got you. I'm gonna get you on a oh, I wish I had your number. I would love to interview you on a Friday. The correct email for my guest. Attached is my bio, her picture. She's a beauty. If I can get it, hold on, sweetie. Save page. No, I'm trying to save picture. Oh man. This frame. Save frame as document. Um, StreamYard. Oh, that sucks. Lord Jesus. I have to, it's encrypted. Go back. We can do this. Save picture. What's her name? Catherine Williams. She's always on my page. I cannot wait to interview her. She's a really good woman. And I looked on her page and I said to myself, I must get her on my show. She's an artist. I knew she was making those pictures. I knew it. I don't see how she be making it downtown. It's too dangerous for me. Too rich for my blood, Catherine. You did this excellent, though. Wait, is that a number? No, that's not a phone number. You thought I wasn't going to do it, didn't you, Catherine? I be having so much to do, man. The Kimberly Cloud Show featuring. Give me a second. I have to look something up. What? What? Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see. It's something I'm supposed to be looking up. Okay. Hmm. Chris McKinnell. Let's see. Reach out and touch. Somebody said, make this world a better place. If you can, reach out and touch somebody's hand. That's okay. Ooh, how do I say? Now I need somebody that gives me enough time. June 18th. I'm thinking, let's see. Okay, let's go back. Let's do the Canva thing. Once I get these two lovely ladies on board, I have a show I want you to watch. I'm just going to watch 10 minutes. I always say that. It's just an hour show, just an hour. Reach out and touch. Oh, here we go. Documents. Oh no, desktop. Oh no. Where are you at, young buck? You know, I should use that day to talk about what I need to talk about. But first, I need to talk to the radio station itself about different things. Ain't nothing but a chicken wing. It's been something I've been meaning to talk about on the show, and this is a crazy. It's okay. I can get somebody, but I think I want to talk about educating them. It'd be like a whistleblower show. So thank you so much for doing that for me. If somebody's name comes up, then I won't talk about it. But if somebody's name do, where is it at? This is on the radio. And I verify it by checking it. So thank you. I am going to be the whistleblower on this. Where is it at? Catherine. Okay. Catherine. Where are you at? Oh my God, I hate when they do that. There you go, sweetie. Beautiful. You look a little mixed. I love that shirt. I love that hair. What's your name? Let me get your name correct. Hold on. Mhm. Hmm. 17th. At what time? Ooh, the 17th at what time is it for? Ooh, there we go. 3 p.m. And we gotta go 3. I'm gonna use that slot. The slot's gonna be open. I think I'm gonna use that slot. I usually don't like to talk about myself, but I'm gonna text him right now. April 17th, which is tomorrow at 3. I know it's tomorrow. The Sonic tomorrow. I couldn't even sing right earlier today. I was like, take me to the game. And my throat was tickling like crap. I was like, take me to That's a hard song to sing. I gotta get my Genuinely Michelle Wiggs Big Cartel. I blocked it. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Let me send her the link. Okay. I'm trying to figure out something. Okay. Catherine. There she go. Here is the link. Um, you can be online, come online 10 to 5 minutes prior to get to know you. Take care. See you tomorrow. Excellent pictures. Okay. I'll see about that. Uh, yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll leave that alone. I don't have time for that. What is the next young lady's name? Sadia. Good. She already sent it. Let's find it. We're looking for her stuff. We're looking for her stuff. Here we go. I remember her. Whoa. Not her. I'm looking at my other stuff. I'm looking. Okay, here we go. She is so funny. She reminds me of somebody that I know already. Beautiful, like savvy, bold. I love looking at people pictures. Beautiful woman. Which one am I gonna? She is in a blouser. A blouser. Beautiful, man. I love that hair. Can you chop the long part off and give it to me? We're gonna have fun together. What is your name? You was doing a comedy show. I won't say your name because of some people are trying to sabotage me. That's probably why the lady called out. Oh my God, you are everywhere. Say everywhere but not there. Oh my God, Las Vegas, New York, Salt Lake City, San Diego. I heard of the Madhouse. The Madhouse. Mad, I tell you. I wouldn't even be able to do half the stuff you do. Wow. I don't do pictures on StreamYard. We'll start. Let me see. What can I do? How can you know what? Look you up. Look you up real quick, sweetie. We're gonna make 30 minutes out of this because I know. Oh my God. Beautiful. I've never seen it done this way. I never seen this. I love it. Let's skim through. First, I'm gonna get what I can out of that. I didn't mean to go there. Where was I just at? Yahoo. We're gonna put that. Wait, we're gonna download it. There we go. Oh, she been on a Savage Unfiltered. How cool is that? He won't even take my calls no more. He must have talked mad junk about me. Those flashing lights had to stop and stare from every eye. She bad and she knows. I swear that Sadie knows. Done a lot. I know it's no stopping her from here. Those flashing lights. Why am I putting the time tonight? That's how crazy I am. That's 3:30. You fool. That's a Curly and Mo thing tomorrow. Let me make sure. 3:30. 3:30. Now I gotta go on. Great. Great. Not grat. Great. Not that. Great. Not that either. Great comedian. Good. There we go. Great comedian, Sadia Caron. She must be mixed with something. Now, what is this? I cannot wait to see that. Okay. Canva. 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 I swear that she knows. I think that she knows. What did I just do? I didn't even download her. Which one I think? I think they all are pretty. I like this one the most because it just shows spunkiness. She's like giving you the thumb and holding her backpack. No humor, just pure beauty, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Her eyes are so beautiful. She picked the perfect hairstyle. I couldn't wear that because of my skin color. It looks perfect on white women, though. I look like a retard. I have worn it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. for my skin tone. That's one thing I gotta say. There's no way a black woman can have blonde hair naturally. Honey blonde still isn't natural, but it looks pretty. Silver, I don't know where we going with silver. Where is it at? You gotta go to. Where is it? Oh, I hate it. Oh, there it is. I see the beauty in all women. I hate that they don't see the beauty in me. I don't hate that no more. I just wish that they see me for who I am. First thing coming to mind, it's like one of them monitors. Do 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 do. It's so funny to me, man. I just don't know. And so I just don't care. I don't hate nothing except what I told y'all I hate as being an African American woman, 10 times or more getting hoodwinked by the same characters, the same race. And they hate me as well. That's why they waste their gas to do what they do. And whoever told them about me is the ones who deserve to be locked up in an orange jumpsuit like I was. Maybe they can see what it's like to get pushed, their butt get pushed in. And that's in the nicest way I can put it, because I'm working on it. I promise you, you won't feel a thing because they put numbing medicine in you, and but your butt will be caved in for a whole week, and maybe you'll break a wrist or two like I did in the shoulder, but you'll feel okay. They'll dope you up full of methamphetamine and morphine or date rape drugs. Here is the link to the show. I'll try to be on there early. Take care. I have a show before you, so please be patient. I'm not going to forget. Take care. What? Oh, I gave her the wrong thing. Did I give her the wrong thing? No, I didn't. See, there you go. Okay, let me do one more thing. There's a veterans podcast, and I'm interested in signing up. I am a veteran, veteran wife. I have experience with tough issues surrounding the VA and the system, the whole system, system itself. Okay, good. Now we're gonna watch this video. I cannot wait to watch this video. Tucker Carlson. If anything happens to my tires, I'm going to go in full retaliation on the people who sent these people my way. It's not even going to be a coincidence that anything happened to my tires. It's not going to be a coincidence anybody busted in and got nothing from my car. There's nothing in there. I know the plan. I want to show y'all something and explain these pictures. They're unexplainable. Hold on for a second. Give me a second. I shouldn't even write him no more. I'll write him in the morning. I'll see him in the morning. So I'm not going to write him. If he doesn't show, I know he's scared of me. But let me go ahead and download these pictures to my thing. I think that she knows. I swear that she knows. There's flashing lights come from everywhere. Warning, viewer discretion is advised, dude. Yes, we got him. We got him, Joe. Book him, Danny. Is there a Danny? I know Danny used to be on his high horse. Any cop that's Danny or a sheriff or a detective, book him, Danny. And he'd be like, yeah. No, you. And by golly, if it's twin sheriffs or twin officers or twin MPs, okay, how am I going to do this? It's not going to show unless I get off. How am I going to do this? Y'all gonna be astounded. Some of y'all already know and don't believe me, but in the making of this, the same thing that with the string when I put my hand and the string stopped, this is the same apartment that this happened in. I noticed everything on my skin flawless. It's not flawless, but my skin, Flawless as in I looked at every flaw. I took a picture, I zoom in, that's artwork. My skin to me is artwork. So when I took a picture of my eyes and my face and my computer, not this computer, this MacBook I bought, but my old MacBook, something weird happened. So let me exit out of the screen and then I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So Starbucks was like, we're ejecting our companies from your country. And he made his own Starbucks. That's so funny to me. When the war happened, I was so peed off. I even have a presentation I did on Putin. I have a presentation I did on Putin. You know, they sanctioned him, everything, and nothing changed. You know, he became president again. He became president again. That's a bad man right there. And we don't know the whole story. We don't know the whole story. And I hate to say, we only know what our news tells us. And when people start to ask questions, it's like, go away or you die. Go away or you're going to get arrested. Go away or we're going to send you to the mental shoo shoo, ho ho, loony bin. Right? Can you agree? I'm not going to show my face anymore. I want you to see unless it's an important theory I need to bring up, I want you to see. doing some type of event, and she was like, "We're gonna make it rain," and everybody's like, "Yeah!" And I was like, "Oh my God, you go, woman!" She was a white woman saying that. Imagine a white woman saying your verse. We'll make it rain on those bleeps. She said she wanted to make it rain, so they made it rain. They cut the ribbon and everything.
Jack Dorsey in Twitter, in the Twitter's office, and I was walking back at 8 p.m. To my hotel, and I got attacked in the street. This is the only country where I got attacked in the street.
What happened?
It's just three big guys tried to grab my phone from my hands. I was tweeting about the fact that I just met the founder of Twitter. That seemed like a right idea for me back then to do. And I got attacked. I didn't want to let them have my phone. They probably didn't expect resistance. So I snatched my phone back. There was a short fight with the guys. There was a little bit blood involved. But I managed to run away and decided I should probably...
That can humiliate anybody, to sit up there and be attacked like that. He's a small guy. This is what I mean, man. I wonder what their race were. I'm just curious to know. He just said big guys. He couldn't even walk to his hotel room without being targeted. And the technology we have today, somebody knew who he was. Child, we just got to see.
They probably don't mug a lot of Russians. They might have been surprised.
Well, they were much taller than me, I must admit. And there are three of them. But I think I put up a good fight.
Were you surprised that this happened in San Francisco?
Completely.
Yeah.
It was a shock to me because I traveled a lot. That was the first place I got attacked. And I thought, all right, maybe we shouldn't look at San Francisco. Maybe there are other places in America where
you don't get attacked?
Yeah, exactly. But there's
like, let's be honest, they're not pushing an issue, but who steals a phone? If you were to steal a brand new phone, right? Once that phone comes home with you, the depreciation value goes 500% below the means. So just like a car, man, but even worse. So if you was to steal somebody's phone, go to the pawn shop, erase all their information, what would happen? You would get what, $20 for the phone, maybe? So what were you searching for? I dig a little deeper. And Tucker, I know he wanted to ask those questions.
This second part, which was probably more alarming there in the US, we got too much attention from the FBI, the security agencies, wherever we came to the US. So to give you an example, last time I was in the US, I brought an engineer that is working for Telegram, and there was an attempt to secretly hire my engineer behind my back by cybersecurity officers or agents, whatever they are called.
The U.S. government should hire your engineer?
That's my understanding. That's what he told me.
To write code for them or to break into Telegram?
They were curious to learn which open source libraries are integrated to the Telegram's app, on the client side, and they were trying to persuade him to use certain open source tools that he would then integrate into the Telegram's code that, in my understanding, would serve as backdoors.
Would allow the U.S. government to spy on people who use Telegram.
The U.S. government, or maybe any other government, because a backdoor is a backdoor regardless of who is using it.
That's right.
I don't want to believe in my heart. I understand what's going on with him because he's higher up and he's an engineer and he's from Russia. And I can't get into that. Like I said, the FBI, if they wanted to arrest me, they would have been arrested me. They know that I call excessively and I do things excessively, but I mean it from my heart. I have no money. I am just a regular Black African-American woman. But I refuse to believe that they're going behind my back telling companies that I am affiliated with. And I could see the evil part of the FBI doing that, like with possibly BBS radio and possibly different Wikipedia pages, places telling them not to do this and we'll hire you to not do that, but this is what I was thinking all along, that the government, the evil part of the government is trying to sabotage me becoming a idol, not a idol as in like an icon or something, but somebody that has authority and what's the word, the right word for it, credibility is the best word. I always get sabotaged. I love the FBI and I understand, you know, this is his situation. He's Russian. He's part Russian. He's very smart. So, and I'm very smart too. But I refuse to believe that they would do this to me. While Biden is in office, I agree. It may happen. You can't go against your job. 35,000 FBI agents in the country right now, spending countless hours watching over 100 people per person. You can't say that they're all bad. And if you go against Biden, what happens? You get fired. And that's my point of view. They could have killed me by now. They could have did all types of stuff to me. But they watched me, and they done watched over me good enough.
A little surprising to hear. Maybe it's not surprising. It's offensive. You're confident that happened?
Yes. There is no reason for my engineer to make up the stories. Also because I personally experienced similar pressure in the US. Whenever I would go to the US, I would have two FBI agents greeting me at the airport, asking questions. One time I was having my breakfast like 9 a.m. and the FBI showed up at my house.
If you've been wanting to launch an idea and you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't have any tech skills. I don't have a big team. I got a camel that I got to take care of. You're sick of working for other people. You're ready to quit your day job. Listen up. Russell Brunson and like 20 other high-level entrepreneurs, including myself, are going to be showing you how to build your first funnel in like 5 days. And we're going to be showing you how to do it for free. So somewhere here, there's a button or a link or something. Sign up.
That I was renting. And that was quite surprising. And I thought, we're getting too much attention here. It's probably not the best environment to run.
Why would had you committed a crime?
No, they were interested to learn more about Telegram. They knew I, left Russia. They knew what we were doing, but they wanted details. And my understanding is that they wanted to establish a relationship to, in a way, control Telegram better. I understand that they were doing their job. It's just that for us running a privacy-focused social media platform, that probably wasn't the best environment to be in. We want to be focused on what we do, not on government relations of that sort.
Government relations. So then you came to UAE, to Dubai.
Yes. 7 years ago, we moved here. We first wanted just to try it for half a year, see if it works out. And it turned out to be a great place. We never looked back, and we never wanted to change the UAE for any other place after that.
Why?
Well, for a number of reasons. First, the ease of doing business here is so high. For example, you can hire people from anywhere in the world as long as you're paying them a good salary. The residence permits granted automatically. It's very different. If you try to do that in Europe and some other countries, it's very different from that. Second, it's very tax efficient. Third, the infrastructure is great. You get a lot for the minimum amount of taxes you're paying. The roads, the airports, the hotels, everything. I think you witnessed it yourself.
Yes.
But I think more importantly is that it's a neutral place. It's a neutral country. It's a small country that wants to be friends with everybody. It's not aligned geopolitically with any of the big superpowers. And I think it's the best place for a neutral platform like ours to be in if we want to make sure we can defend our users' privacy and freedom of speech.
So in the time that you've been here, there have been
Well said. Well said. I understand. When you come to the U.S., just think about, dude, if you were in Canada. Just think about if you were in Canada.
a number of wars and threats of war, precursors to war. Have you had any pressure from the government here? Honestly, any pressure from the government here to reveal a backdoor into Telegram or to ban anyone or to make any changes to your business?
Zero. That's the best part. For all the 7 years we've been here, there's been zero pressure coming from the UAE towards Telegram. They've been very supportive, very helpful, and it's a big contrast from whatever we've experienced before.
What about what you've experienced since you moved here in those 7 years? Have you come under pressure from other governments under whose jurisdiction you don't fall, but to accommodate their demands?
Well, of course. Well, Telegram is a large platform. We are popular in many, many countries, and we've been receiving a lot of requests, demands. Some of them were legitimate, right? If there was a group of people who was promoting violence, there was terrorist activity that was, spreading violence in some parts of the world.
Well, that's one thing, to spread violence. We don't want that. But what we want is our freedom of speech. So anybody that get on your Telegram doing that is trying to, whoever is telling you that they want to get the backdoor information, it's obvious that they're promoting that so that they can find a way into your systems.
Publicly posting things that any decent human being would disallow or wouldn't want to be posted. We would help them. But in some other cases where we thought it would be crossing the line, it wouldn't be in line with our values of freedom of speech and protecting people's private correspondence, we would ignore those.
Can you give us an example of a request that you thought crossed into censorship and spying, violating people's privacy?
Well, there's I would say a very funny story related to your home country. After the events of January the 6th, we received a letter from, I believe, congressmen of the Democratic side. And they requested that we would share all the data we had in relation to what they called this uprising. And we checked it with our lawyers, and they said, you better ignore it. But the letter seemed very serious, and the letter said, if you fail to comply with this request, you will be in violation with the U.S. Constitution or something.
So they wanted
Do you see that face that he made?
data on people who voted for the other guy in the election.
But they wanted the data of people, who were demonstrating in Washington or wherever they were doing. You're probably right. I'm not an expert in the U.S. politics.
Yeah.
What was funny about it is 2 weeks after that letter, we got another letter, a new letter from the Republican side of the Congress. And there we read that if we give out any data according to the previous request, we would be in violation of the US Constitution. So we got 2 letters that said whatever we do, we'd be violating the US Constitution in a way. That was my understanding of these letters.
From the same legislative body, both from the U.S. Congress.
Yes.
So how do you respond to that?
Well, the same way we respond to most such requests, we decided to ignore them because it's such a complicated matter related to internal politics in the US. We don't want to take any.
I believe this strongly. If you ignore your problems, most of them do go away.
That's very true.
It is very, no, it says it, but it's true. That's amazing. Have you ever had demands that you can't ignore?
Well, it depends, right?
Well, unreasonable demands.
So I would say the largest pressure towards Telegram is not coming from governments. It's coming from Apple and Google.
Huh.
So when it comes to freedom of speech, those two platforms, they could basically censor whatever is you can read, access on your smartphone.
So, I mean, do you run
Mind you, I'm not going to say nothing about you, Apple or Google. I'm just I'm neutral. I'm a guardian ad litem in this one. I'm a neutral party.
the risk of being thrown out of their stores?
Exactly. That's what they make very clear, that if we fail to comply with their guidelines, so we call it, Telegram could be removed from the stores.
Well, that would be not a small thing for you, right?
Well, won't be a small thing for us, because obviously a big chunk of the world's population will lose access to a valuable tool that they're using every day. But it will not also be a small thing for them. I mean, I believe there must be find some compromise in such cases. But Apple and Google are not very compromising when it comes to their guidelines. If they believe some content is against their rules, they will see to it that all the apps that are distributed to their stores comply with these rules.
Are any of those rules, or do you interpret any of those rules? Do you believe any of them to be political in nature?
Some of them, but it's not the rules, it's the application of the rules. The rules themselves, they're pretty general, right? So there must be no violence, discrimination, publicly available child abuse materials. It's hard to disagree with that.
Yes.
But then when they start to apply those rules, sometimes we are not agreeing with their interpretation, and we try to get back to Apple or Google, wherever it is, and say, look, we think you got it wrong. We think actually this is the legitimate way of people expressing their opinions. And sometimes they do agree, to their credit. Sometimes they disagree, and we still have to take some content down, at least in the version of Telegram that is distributed through their platforms.
So there are a number of conflicts going on around the world right now, and that may accelerate. Mm-hmm. So would you expect that the number of demands and the intensity of those demands, the persistence of those demands, would increase as the wars become more intense?
Let's see. I'm really hopeful that the past is behind us. I want to be optimistic. I think now we reached a point where politicians and societies know what to expect from social media platforms, and where they're.
If y'all want to get your own social media platform, for instance, for example, you guys, what I mean by that is you can cuss, but you cannot, no hate speech, right? TikTok, you can't drive and use TikTok, so you might as well say it's PG 13. YouTube, you can't harass nobody, what they consider harassment. Facebook, no porn, no they try to ban no cussing. They kind of let it go. So PG-17. Instagram the same way. Cussing is starting to get a little bit over powerful because they know that they're going to end up losing customers if they ban them every time. But I try to keep each and every platform. If I dance and have music, Twitter allows that. If you ever want to dance, Twitter allows that. And Twitch, you can do anything. any place you want to be. Twitch and Twitter, dancing like a dancing machine. But as far as I can't wait to see Telegram. I'm not going to do it right away. 10 more minutes and then I'm off of here because this is a long one.
The red lines are.
Yes.
We also learned much more about the requirements coming from both them and Google/Apple. So, and our users get better educated as well at what is allowed and what's not allowed. So I don't necessarily believe that things are going to get worse.
It does seem like the red line for governments is allowing organized opposition to their rule. That's what you saw in Russia with Navalny and the Ukraine crisis in 2014. That's what you saw from that Democratic member of Congress after January 6th, 2020.
Definitely, there's a pattern here. Telegram has been used by protesters in places like Hong Kong,
Yes.
Belarus, Kazakhstan, even in Barcelona back in the day.
Yes.
So it's been a tool for their position to a large extent, but it doesn't really matter whether it's opposition or the ruling party that is using Telegram. For us, we apply the rules equally to all sides. We don't become prejudiced in this way. It's not that we are rooting for the opposition or we are rooting for the ruling party. It's not that we don't care, but we think it's important to have this platform that is neutral to all voices, because we believe that the competition of different ideas can result in progress.
He can make a very smart motherboard system. I don't know much about computers, but what happens is it's a core, like for instance, the NSA and the government, they keep their huge computer systems all in one large bay. I don't know if it's at the Pentagon or where it's at. I don't want to know. But this hover or motherboard system, it grows. It knows my voice from when I was calling the police at 10 years old, and it grows. It grows. It has all my information hovered in it. Then you have other people information from before cell phones using telephone to growing with even phone taps, from phone taps to organic telephone lines that's ripped out of our system, the first generation phones, which was the phones that you can unplug the cord and it just say boo, 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 everything, man. And now we're to this. So his motherboard system is going to get smarter than Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, because it's a neutral thing. It's not ran by the government. It's ran by true voices putting information in this motherboard and it's building up. And that's how he builded it. And that's why he is going to be more powerful than any other platform. I'm not downing them, but watching the next decade to a half a century where it's going to be. Because he's doing something different and he's been doing it for years, decades, unlike what Facebook is doing, which is getting backdoor systems and is doing other things, degressive, should I say. He's happy with the income. I'm not talking junk, Marky. Just listen to me. You're happy with where you at and you're content. You're making money, but some things are hurting us regular folk out here because of your rules. How can I have point like it's not making no sense and it doesn't add up, Mark. How can I have porn on my website for a year while I'm in jail and then all of a sudden you censor me for one thing that I'm telling the truth on? But it wasn't my fault that porn was up. Why didn't your systems catch that? So his system is going to be more. So watch out for Telegram. I'm telling you, it's a neutral party platform. And he's all the way in the bar where it's neutral. They're not putting nothing in his ear or trying to buy him saying, if we give you money, you can do this. If we do this, you can do that. Russia came to him and asked for information from Ukraine, and he said he wasn't doing it. So they kicked him out of Russia. He went to the United States. The FBI started trying to acknowledging, what's that word? Um, to his recollection, allegedly, the FBI tried to buy his engineer. And now look, he's in Dubai, a neutral continent. I'll probably go there to live. Once all this probation stuff is over, I may end up moving out of the States.
And a better world for everyone.
That's in stark contrast to, say, Facebook, which has said in public, we tip the scale in favor of this or that movement in this or that country, all far from the West and far from Western media attention. But they've said that. What do you think of that? Tech companies choosing governments?
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why we ended up here in the UAE, out of all places, right? So you don't want to be geopolitically aligned. You don't want to select the winners in any of these political fights. And that's why you have to be in a neutral place. But I think Facebook in particular has a lot of reasons, apart from being based in the US, for doing what they're doing.
Exactly what I said. Exactly. Mark, I'm not bashing you. You have so much pressure. As soon as you try to go against the grain, something bad will happen to you. Elon Musk is a perfect example. My heart goes out to Elon Musk. He put his time, he has 3, 4, 5 countries, not countries, but companies. Neuralink, he's helping people be able to possibly walk again. He's only in phase 1 with that, where he's implanting Neuralinks into their brain to help them do things they haven't, paraplegic people haven't been able to do before. Tesla, he has cars, electric cars, like the guy that I spoke with earlier said, if you were to weigh electric cars against gas cars against hybrid, which is electrical and gas, what they both give out the same problems, but electrical cars is the new phase of the generation because it doesn't, do what gasoline cars. And some people say the opposite. I'm neutral on it. So, yeah, it's crazy out here, and my heart goes out to Mark. My heart even goes out to Elon. Like I said, 5 different things he's doing, if not more. He has robots set and ready to distribute. He believes in a lot of stuff. He believes the car will be able to drive itself. He gave a date, it didn't work, but I understand, man. There's a lot of sabotage and corruption going on.
I think every app and platform plays its own role, and we believe that humanity does need a neutral platform like Telegram that would be respectful to people's privacy and freedoms.
Maybe from a political perspective, it seems like the most provocative thing Telegram does is offer something called channels, which seem sort of ready-made for organizing groups of people. Can you explain to viewers who aren't familiar with them what a Telegram channel is?
Yes, so Telegram channel is a one-to-many broadcast tool that allows people to quickly disseminate any message.
You know what's so funny about that? Before you go any further, Donald J. Trump and Donald Trump Jr., why hasn't Truth Social got a live on it, a live link, so that we can send messages not only to the former president, but to higher up people about what we suggest we should do? If we had a live video, no need to be on some of these platforms. There is no live video. They're just strictly writing. And I get it. He wants an organic way, his way. And maybe it costs more to do it. Who knows? But I would suggest, to Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, to get a live button on there. That way we can be able to voice our opinions to you, and you have your administration read them, and maybe the suggestions will be good. Maybe the suggestions are trolls just trolling your page.
To millions of people. So there's a channel, people subscribe to it. It's a one-way communication, meaning a channel can be used by, say, a president or a head of state, and everybody else will not be able to send a message to the president, but the president will be able to send a message to all of the people who subscribe to his channel.
Yes.
Or her channel. So the point here is channels are so easy to use, and they're so deeply integrated in the messaging user interface that they became extremely popular.
So you receive it like a text.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a very familiar form for a lot of
Yes.
people. And since we launched channels 8 years ago, I believe a few other apps, popular apps, followed in our footsteps and copied that feature as well. Not nearly as advanced as what we have, but it shows that it's a really high quality and demanded feature that the world needs.
I think it's interesting, and you don't have to answer any of these questions if you don't want, if it's too personal, but you're the owner, you own it. And it's very unusual, in fact, I've never seen it, to have a large business like this owned by one person. Why didn't you take, and you could have cashed in on private equity money along the way, but you didn't. Why didn't you?
Well, that's true.
It would have tainted his name. They probably would have tainted his name and gave in to the bribery if there was probably alleged things like that going on. It would have tainted his name to have another CEO come in the company and use a backdoor, use some type of instrument to censor people, and it would have just went to rubbles. And then his name, they would have said the first CEO gave up his company, the second CEO. Nobody would have known what Telegram was. He did an excellent job.
As of now, Telegram is 100% owned by myself, which is, like I said, quite unusual.
I've never heard of that before.
The reason I tried to stay away from venture capital money, at least at the early stages of our development, is because we wanted to be independent. We knew that our mission and our goals are not necessarily consistent with the goals of funds that could be investing into us. And also, for me, it was never about money, right? So I have a few $100 million in my bank account or in Bitcoin since 10 years ago, and I don't do anything with it. I don't own any real estate, jets, or yachts. I don't think this lifestyle is for me. I like to focus on what we're doing with Telegram.
You don't own anything? Like big assets? You don't own
no big assets.
Exactly. An island in Hawaii or
no land, no real estate, nothing.
Why?
Well, because for me, my number one priority in life is my freedom. And once you start buying things, first, it will tie you down to a physical location. In my view, it's my personal view. I don't have nothing against people who are buying real estate, but
I saw Tucker. Tucker said, "You are so effing smart." When the camera got off of him, I pick up on everything. Sometimes by now he knows when the camera's on and when it's not. It's two cameras looking both ways, and when the camera lights up a certain color, normally the color red or move. It's two set cameras. The interview, one's behind him and one's in front of him, and the one in front of Tucker. In front of Tucker, can't see him move his mouth. So he said, "You are so effing smart." I seen the effing smart part.
In my personal view, it would be like this for me. And the second reason is I like to stay focused on what we do at Telegram. So I know that if I buy a house, I buy it.
The future is not just going to happen. You have to make it. And if you want
a jet, something like that, I would be spending time on trying.
See, when he's talking, he know the camera is on him, and that's why he said it.
To make it nice. And
yeah.
This will require a lot of time and effort.
Would you go with leather seats or velvet seats?
Exactly. and
you're not even going to choose.
Yes. For me, I would rather make decisions that would influence how a billion people communicate rather than choosing the color of seats in the house that only I and my relatives, or probably a bunch of my friends, will see.
Interesting. And you didn't take, because I just have to say it a third time. Haven't seen this before. You obviously were famous as a young man, as a company builder and entrepreneur. And so you could have really taken a lot of money, and you didn't because you didn't want to be controlled.
I just didn't see any reason to do that. I had enough money to get by. Well, to be completely fair, Tilgram did take outside money. We issued bonds 3 years ago. So we raised debt. And that was, and before that, we had a cryptocurrency project that also raised some funds. So there were instances where we raised outside funding. But when it comes to company equity,
Yeah, you didn't give up ownership.
we didn't give anyone ownership or voting control or anything like that. Because we also believe in efficiency. I think that having myself as the sole owner, director, and product manager for this extensive period of time in the company's development allowed us to move faster. And
How could you be the only product manager? Are you still the only product manager in the company?
Exactly.
I want to clap, but it's getting late. And all my people that's on my West Coast watching me, I'm going to give it 5 more minutes and then I'm going to tap in. It's 20 more minutes and I can't do it. So hold on. I have to know. The more I listen, the more I want to know, man. This is to all you entrepreneurs out there, man. Don't give up your company that easy because it could be worth more, and be the owner, man. It's like a 9 to 5 to him. He's sitting on gold, and only thing he did was bonds and raise capital a little bit for uh, the debt or whatever you call it. But it's just the fact that he is the owner. Brilliant. He don't get a yacht. He don't get nothing because at the end of the day, then bribery and blackmail happen. Then it's like, oh, if you mess us over, we're gonna confiscate that yacht. Ooh, well, we're gonna take that island. Ooh, well, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that.
Come up with most of the features. Still work directly with every engineer, every designer who is implementing these features. I'm running this company because I enjoy it. I'm the only product manager because I think this is the way I can contribute.
How big is your HR department?
0. Well, you could say it's me, and it's, because the way we hire engineers.
No, you need a big HR department. You don't think? You don't suffer without one?
We, in a way, decentralized that. We started a platform where we host contests for engineers. It's actually contest.com. We have this separate platform for that. And we select the best of the best engineers as a result of the competitions that we organize. We hold them every month or 2 months. So after a series of these competitions, we select.
I like him because he don't want nobody to surpass him, but I know what he's doing. I can't explain it, and I don't want to give up his cookie secrets to his bakery shop like Granny's Secret Recipes in Red. But I know what he's doing. It's not that he don't want nobody to surpass him. I shouldn't have said it that way, but it's that he don't want nobody in his realm like Twitter and that's why you see these companies wind up firing people because they get hired allegedly by the crooked part of the FBI or the crooked part of these governments trying to fish around for information, and then weird stuff start happening to their companies.
Like the best of the best of the best, and they then maybe could join our team, which is just about 30 engineers. So it's really compact team, super efficient. It's like a Navy SEAL team, and this is how we operate. We don't need HR department to find super talented engineers.
Why doesn't everyone do this? I mean, I look at some of these tech companies, or Elon Musk famously, when he showed up at Twitter, I mean, there were people doing things that he didn't even know what they were doing, and they didn't know what they were doing. They were like, there was a world peace department and a foosball department. And why doesn't everybody run their business like you?
Well, it's an interesting question. I think it all boils down to the question of independence. Anyway, I asked this question to the predecessors of Elon,
Jack Dorsey.
Jack and his predecessor as well. And
What'd you say?
Dick Costolo,
Yeah.
his name. And this Jack, he told me that if I told him, look, you can run this company with 20 people. You don't need so many people. And the response was, I agree with you, but if we start firing so many people, it will make the Wall Street scared. They will think something's very wrong with the company. And we don't want to do that. And that's why we keep all these employees around.
So to keep the stock price high, he had to run it inefficiently. I mean, that's what you're saying.
If I understood him correctly, that's what. But to his credit, Elon has to take Twitter private before he could do all the organizations he did.
There's something sort of profound in what you're saying. I mean, the whole point of a publicly traded company, or one of the points, so the public can participate in the ownership of the company, but also so outsiders can assess the operations of the company. And so there's transparency. So we know how the company is run because it's owned by the public. And so it would be, by definition, more efficient, you would think, but you're saying that it's wildly less efficient that you wind up with a foosball department when it's publicly traded, but when it's privately held, you don't. I mean, that's kind of the opposite of what you would think, right?
Well, I guess most tech founders would actually agree that running a public company is less efficient than running a private company, because you have to be accountable to much more people. There's a lot of redundancy, bureaucracy involved. So from a purely efficiency standpoint, I would argue, and I think a lot of people will agree with me, that running a public company is suboptimal. However, there are other advantages of getting listed. And of course, that is relevant when you want to acquire other companies.
Well, cash.
Yes,
right.
you can have
3 more minutes.
access to cheap capital. There's a lot of things you can do.
But you don't want to do any of those things.
Well, not presently, definitely. I am enjoying running my company in the way it is. Well, who knows what the future holds, but as of now, I think we are doing a great job with...
And it's going to show if he ever give in, like Twitter. Twitter didn't give in. It's like being born into dysfunctionality. I got born into the dysfunctional world. Twitter got born into Twitter X by insufficient people wanting to sabotage his company once he became the founder of Twitter. Facebook, if he does this, what's going to happen is they're going to sabotage him and make him, first it's going to be good, and then little cracks in the hole, so it's going to start cracking. 3 more minutes and I'm off of here.
Telegram, 900 million users, will probably cross 1 billion.
Oh my God, no way does he have 1 billion viewers. I love that dude, man. He is rocking it, man. He is rocking it. He is working hard. Word of mouth, it goes a long way. 1 billion, it's almost 8 billion people in the world, y'all. To have 1 billion viewers, to have 1 billion people, users on that platform is amazing, man. He worked hard. That's like 300 million and 50 million per country.
In monthly active users within a year from now. I think we're doing great. Why would we lose this momentum right now?
Can I just go back to something you said at the outset? You don't have an HR department. You only have 30 engineers working for you. You run the products. You own the company. such a tight organization, but how do you get new users if you spend zero money for acquisitions? If you're not advertising,
I want to know this, and then I'm gonna get off of here.
if you're not paying to bring people in, how do you do that? How do you get to $1 billion for free?
But because people love our product. What we realized pretty early on is that people are smart. People like
By the way, that's the Telegram symbol. That's not the Star Trek symbol. That's Telegram.
to use good things, and they don't like to use inferior things. That's why whenever you have a person who started to use Telegram, and they're there for a while, and they start to discover all the features, all their, the speed, the security, the privacy, everything that we have, they don't want to go back, and they start inviting their friends, recommending them, "Oh, you should really check this app out because it's so much better than everything else." And also,
I just invited so many people. Telegram. Go ahead and type in telegram.com. Scan the QR code on your computer with your phone and get the Telegram experience and invite your friends. He has by next year over 1 billion. It's only 8 billion people on this earth. So how can he grow with one, not even 1%, 10% to 25% of our population is on Telegram? A hidden thing that's not broadcast by no one. That's, you don't see it. The first time I saw it, like I said, I sat up there. Kimberly Guilford sent it to me, and I appreciate her. If you're out there watching Kimberly Guilford, thank you. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know.
because people realize that whatever messaging apps they're using right now, they're like 5-6 years behind. They're copying what we did 6 years ago, and that's not a very high quality copy that they make of our features. So people love quality. That's why they move. They also love the independence. They also love the privacy. They love the freedom. There are a lot of reasons why somebody would switch to Telegram from other apps.
So one of the things we learned when Elon Musk bought Twitter is that the intel agencies, not just US, but a bunch of other countries, the usual suspects, were all over the company. I mean, some of them were present working at the company. They had access to the direct messages. You can just imagine, well, because you run one, but the wealth of data flowing through.
Didn't I just say that? That's so messed up, man. There was crooked agents, double agents, people from all over, crooked people working for, and then all it takes is a tainted, when you get a virus of something, it's like you stick in something in, like you stick something in your skin, you guys, it's there forever. Your body fights it off, but at least 10% of that virus is still in there, but not low enough to count in the blood cell count. So imagine what they've been doing to try to bring Twitter down with their viruses.
Would be of great interest to governments. Does that make you paranoid that you'll be penetrated? I mean, I assume governments would like to know what's going on sort of privately on Telegram.
See, this is the last one.
Well, there's definitely a lot of responsibility that we have on our shoulders, and I wouldn't say we are paranoid, but I think it makes sense to stay prudent and not be.
Ever wondered why you should get an LLC with a third party when you can do it all by yourself? Yeah, of course. Those companies want
Being too accessible or traveling to weird places.
You don't travel to weird places?
I hope not. Like I travel to places where I have confidence that those places are consistent with what we do and our values. I don't go to any of the big geopolitical powers or the countries like China or Russia or even the US. So
you don't go to the US?
I try not to. I can go, but it's too much attention, like I described before.
Yeah, because at some point, if you run something like this, you're a player in world politics. I mean, whether you want to be or not, don't you think?
We definitely don't want to be a player. We want to be a neutral platform that is impartial and doesn't take any side. But you're probably right that there's some role we have to play.
Well, not taking a side is the one thing you're not allowed to do, right? I mean, aren't you required to take a side in the modern world?
Pick a side. Last question. I'm sorry.
I think that's a big problem, because I think that kind of attitude can result in our world becoming a more dangerous place. Because at the end of the day, we all have to try to understand each other and try to get closer to each other in terms of getting to know the positions of the other people, even though they're drastically different from our own positions. And that's how we get to some compromise and move forward. If we're strictly divided and everybody is required to take a side, I mean, we can't take a side, because we are this platform that people should use to collaborate and to find common ground and hopefully to move forward. If we lose that, we can end up in a much more dangerous place.
How often do you intersect with the National Security Agency, NSA?
Oh, man.
And I ask that as someone whose texts were read by them.
man.
So I know that they're very active in this world. What's your experience been?
Well, I think the NSA is not an agency that works with you directly, right? They're not coming here.
You're so diplomatic. I love it. The NSA is not an agency that works with you directly. No, that is true. That is true.
So my knowledge of my interactions with the NSA is very limited.
Yes.
I could read something in the newspapers about, my phone being penetrated with Pegasus, something like that. I have no idea whether it's true or not, but this is the only source of information I can have about me personally being of interest to any of the secret agencies.
But you've got to think, even though you haven't done an interview in 7 years-ish, it's widely known by people who are interested in who you are and your role in this. I mean, you've got to think you're under just crazy amounts of surveillance, wouldn't you think?
That's probably true. It would sound funny, but I assume by default that the devices I use are compromised.
Yeah.
Because you will still use an iPhone or an Android phone, and after experiencing what I experienced in the US, I have very limited faith in platforms developed in the US from
Let me tell you something. And then I'll let him speak. I'm gonna play the whole thing. Darn it! It's less than 9 minutes. So here's the deal. When I was trying to go to the UK, I was going to give the UK my Apple iPhones and my laptop, but it didn't work out like that. I ended up pawning it because I had no money. I ran out of money, and I had to walk 4 or 5 miles to the pawn shop where they gave me just $25 for it. Just crazy, man. And then I had to buy a Uber card where they took my Uber card and they didn't even show up. So yeah, be wary of that. And so I was mad with the government, very, very much so. And what else? He said, let's just continue.
security standpoint.
Yes. Privacy standpoint.
Exactly.
Because in a lot of countries, ours, America included, spying is described as, quote, security. You're looking at it from the other perspective. You're assuming that security is privacy and my right not to be spied upon. But big governments describe spying upon you as security.
Thank you for this correction.
So last question, since you've done this since you were in college and you've been at the center of it, where do you see it going? And by this, I mean the free exchange, the private exchange of information between sovereign individuals, human beings, non-slaves. When I was a child, that was possible. It's increasingly difficult. Are we moving toward a world where there just is no private communication? Or do you think that privacy will remain despite, say, AI or just massive increases in computing power?
Well, this depends on the extent of privacy. When you say privacy will remain, do you mean that we have absolute privacy now?
I don't think that we do. And I think the world is becoming less amenable. Governments becoming less tolerant of privacy. And that's clearly the trend because they have more technological power. But will they win? I guess, will there ever be a way to preserve privacy? You know, is there a place for it?
I believe in that. I'm an optimist. I think some new secure hardware communication devices will be created in a similar way that now we have hardware wallets to store your cryptocurrency.
Yes.
Maybe we'll have secure communication devices, to send messages or
I love it. I love you guys.
do voice calls. It's possible. I do believe that the world develops in cycles, and if things seem to go in one direction today, doesn't mean that tomorrow they will go the same direction. I also feel that at some point people will get tired of what they experience today, and they would decide to move to some other direction. So I seen it after COVID, for example. So during COVID, you had a lot of restrictions. Also on social media platforms. On most social media platforms, you were not really allowed to express doubt in relation to lockdowns, vaccines, or masks. And at some point, I could feel that the sentiment changed. People started to feel very, very tired and sometimes angry with the fact that they were not allowed to express their opinions, particularly after the end of the pandemic. A lot of people started to be even more skeptical about the restrictions in their freedoms that they experienced during the pandemic.
What was your position as a business owner during COVID? You must have come under pressure to censor opinions on lockdowns, vaccines, masking. How did you respond?
So our position is pretty straightforward. We're a neutral platform. We were helping governments to spread their message about the lockdowns and masks and vaccines. We get dozens of governments who we really help disseminate their information. But we also didn't want to restrict the voices that were critical of all these measures. We thought it made sense for these opposing views to collide and hopefully see some truth come out of those debates. And of course, we got criticized for that. But looking back, I think it was the right strategy.
So you allowed people to voice doubts about the so-called science throughout the experience?
Exactly. During the pandemic, I think we're one of the few, or maybe the only major social media platform that didn't take down accounts that were skeptical in relation to some of these measures.
So why are you not famous and treated as a hero in the United States? Shouldn't there be a parade in your honor? If you're the only social media platform not to take down what turned out to be true, or to some extent true, certainly more true than the CDC guidance. I mean, why weren't you Times Man of the Year? Why isn't your
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and freedom of
face on the nickel?
Oh my God. Did you hear Tucker Carlson? Why isn't your face on a nickel? He knows what I love it when he be sarcastic.
I'm not an expert in the US politics. But to be fair, you have now Twitter or X.
Yeah.
that seemingly becoming more pro freedom of speech, and
I think it is.
it's a great development. And back to our earlier discussion about how all of this is developing in cycles, things are starting to change, it seems.
So do you, I mean, but in some ways, Elon buying Twitter sort of ends your monopoly.
It's like buying a lemon, Elon Musk. You bought a lemon, but you turned it into a Lamborghini. Not even a Lamborghini. What's the best car? What's the best car out there, Elon Musk? What would be your answer? Tesla.
But you still greet it cheerfully. You're still in favor of it.
Definitely, we love the fact that Elon bought Twitter. We thought it was a great development for a number of reasons. First reason is just innovation. You could see X trying a lot of things. Some of them will turn out to be mistakes. Some of them will work, but at least they're trying to innovate. That's something we didn't have outside of Telegram and a few other companies in this industry for the last 10 years. What you saw from the big players, they would rather copy the proven models, the features that apps like Telegram launch, and just scale them on a larger audience. And these features would be pale reflections of what we built. But this was the way those companies operate, still operate. What X is trying to do is in line with what we're building, innovation, trying different things, trying to give power to the creators, trying to get the ecosystem economy going. Those are all exciting things. And I think we need more companies like that. I don't know if it's good for humanity that Elon is spending so much time on Twitter, making it better, but it's definitely good for the social media industry.
When you see the guys who run these other companies, what do you know them, and do you ever talk about freedom of speech? I mean, if you're running into Mark, not, you don't have to answer, of course, if you don't want, but like if you're into Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, we met with Mark more than 10 years ago. I was still running BK, and I told Mark and his colleagues about our app platform. We launched an app platform. I think it was 2009, BK. They were very interested. It was an interesting meeting. They ended up trying to copy not what we did, but what I told them we did. It was funny.
Wow. Look at that face. Look at Tucker's face. I'm going to zoom in for y'all. We got like 30 seconds, a minute and 30 seconds. Mark, you is wrong for that, dog. Mark, you've been put on blast. Marky.
I remember him asking me whether we were planning to start something on a global basis, on the global level, like go for international expansion. I said no, and I asked him whether he was going to try to capture more of my domestic market where I was working on. And he said no, and we both ended up doing exactly that in 2 or 3 weeks. So that was.
So I'm thinking I shouldn't go into business with Mark Zuckerberg.
Ooh, not the diss on Mark Zucky.
No comment.
Is his answer no comment?
Pavel Jarov, thank you very much. It was a great conversation. I appreciate it, and we're rooting for you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
That's why I don't like watching Tucker Carlson. He is so sarcastic, and it's so cool that he puts the information out there and how he put the information out there. Man, nice juicy conversation with the head of Telegram. I have to say once again, I am so sorry, Kimberly. Kimberly, like I tried to tell you, bleep. So I gotta go to bed, man. I got an appointment tomorrow at 8:45, and I will see y'all kiddos and kiddettes later, man. I am tired. I am beat. Nice hot shower to sleep. I have a rhyme for you. Early to bed, early to rise. Make Jesse and Kimmy healthy and wise. That's what my mother used to say. I hate saying her name, but whatever. So yeah, take care. Both salutes. You're only supposed to salute with your right hand. Your right hand, the same hand, nothing. Take care, y'all. Good night, man. You can see it in my eyes. The sister